Hi, how's it going? Thanks so much for joining me. So today I have a mixed video with our kind of past monthly reading updates and a small haul and then a library weekly haul. Okay, so first I'm going to show you guys what my daughter read. So she read Wings of Fire. She's completing this series and this is book 11. Very much fantasy. She really loves this series. It's very popular at our library. A lot of times we have to wait for them. And yeah, so she really loves it. You know, it's about dragons, fantasy. Yeah, so she finished this one, book 11, the past month of March. And she also finished Pax by Sarah Pennypacker. So this was a book that was on our homeschool reading list. I read Pax 1 and 2, and I loved them. And she's very much into fantasy, so I tried to get her to read it for a while, and finally she read it, and she loved it. And so Pax is very much like a universal story about love and connection and friendship between a boy named Peter and a fox named Pax. And obstacles that Peter and Pax both have to overcome. It's a very well-written book. I love Sarah Pennypacker. I've read pretty much all of her books. And yeah, so there's also part 2 to this, and my daughter definitely plans on reading that one also. I loved both of them. And she is loving Tristan Strong. So this is Tristan Strong. Gosh, I'm not sure which one this is. I'm not sure if this is 2. Let's see, because she's reading another Tristan Strong right now. I don't think this is the first one, but she really loves the Tristan Strong series. This is Tristan Strong Destroys the World. And also middle grade. And I believe, let's see. I don't want to, okay, oh, sorry, yeah. So book 2. So I think I'm not sure if it's fantasy, but I know it says African-American folktale heroes and West African gods from iron monsters unleashed by an ancient evil. Okay, so this was our read aloud, Skunk and Badger by Amy Timberlake. So we finished reading this like last week. And so I actually read the first and second one first, just for fun. And then I decided for us to do it for a read aloud for 4th grade. And we liked it. She didn't absolutely love it. And I actually didn't love it as much the second time I read it as the first. But I know I really spoke highly of this series, I believe, in videos before. I don't know. Maybe it's like it didn't work as well as a read aloud as I wanted it to be. Wanted it to work, but yeah, I don't know. I still like it. I read the second one, and we're not going to read the second one as a read aloud. I think the first one was a great deal better than the second one. But so I'm not really recommending the second one, but if you read the first one and you have interest, there is a second one. But yeah, so we did finish that. Okay, and then so my books. So let me show you the first one. It's middle grade. I loved this book. This is Wild Oak by C.C. Harrington. And I literally read this book in 2 days. And if you guys follow my videos, you know I've said many times, I'm a very slow reader. For me to read a book so fast, it spoke so highly of how much I loved this book. And it has some really cool illustrations. So this is about a girl named Maggie. Maggie's stutter makes school especially hard. She will do almost anything to avoid speaking in class. So when her unsympathetic father threatens to send her to a so-called treatment, she reluctantly agrees to her mother's plan. A few weeks in the fresh air of Wild Oak Forest. So she gets sent to live with her grandfather in the forest, in Wild Oak Forest. Well, he lives near a forest. And because she wants to try to prove or they want to try to see if she can make progress, and she ends up encountering an abandoned snow leopard, an exotic gift to a wealthy Londoner that proved too wild to domesticate. But once the cub's presence is discovered by others, danger follows, and Maggie soon realizes that time is running out. not only for the leopard, but for herself in the forest as well. So this book was such a beautiful read about, you know, the snow leopard and Maggie overcoming, you know, the fact that she's like, you know, is embarrassed to talk in front of people because she feels judged. And she feels a lot of pressure going to stay with her grandfather because she feels like if her stutter doesn't improve, because her father says if it doesn't improve by the time she gets back to her home, that he might send her to this like treatment, like kind of like a live-in school sort of. And she heard really bad things about it and she doesn't want to go. And then so it's kind of like that story. And then it also reminds me of PAX. Actually, it's interesting that I just showed PAX because it goes back and forth from the perspective of Maggie, the protagonist, to the next chapter. Most of the chapters rotating with the snow leopard. And it's a really, really, really beautiful story. And I highly, highly recommend it. I think a lot of people would like it. And then at the end, I really love the author's note. You know, talking about why she wrote this book. And, you know, yeah, so I really loved it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful story. I plan on buying this book. I definitely want to reread it, and my daughter will definitely be reading it. Okay, so this is an adult book. So we didn't have a huge reading amount this past month. We actually were out of town for about a week, and that kind of delayed us too, even though I'm a slow reader. But I finished 2 books this month. So she finished, yeah, so 1, 2, 3. So she finished 3, I finished 2, and then we did finish the read aloud. But yeah, it was kind of a slow reading month for us, but that's okay. So this one is very, very, very much adult. This is a Snow Child. And I'm probably going to mess up her name, but this is the author's name. It was a Pulitzer Prize finalist. I just finished this book yesterday. This book, okay, wow. It is based on a Russian fairy tale, I believe, of the same name called The Snow Child. And there's been a lot of interpretations and retellings of this tale. And so the author was really interested in telling her own variation of it. And she also writes about it in the back. And so, yeah, so let me just say, so this is Alaska 1920, a brutal place to homestead, especially tough for recent arrivals Jack and Mabel. Childless, they are drifting apart. He's struggling to maintain the farm. She's struggling from crumbling from loneliness and despair. They build a child out of snow. The next morning, the child is gone, but they glimpse a young girl running through the trees. The young girl seems to be a child of the woods. She hunts with a red fox at her side and somehow survives alone in the Alaskan wilderness. So they begin to love her as their own daughter. But in this beautiful, violent territory, things are rarely as they appear. So I'm going to say that there are 2 triggers for this book. I'm just going to, because I'm a very sensitive reader, so I will say that. This book has like 2 big triggers. If you're sensitive to things about animals, so since this book takes place in Alaskan wilderness in the 1920s, it's very much like, you know, a homestead. So of course they have to hunt for their own food and things like that. So it has like a lot of descriptive things about hunting, like a lot. So if you're very sensitive to that, I would recommend being aware of that. And then the second trigger is loss of a child. Now, I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying this because I'm not talking about the Snow Child. I'm not going to say what happens with her, but I'm talking about someone else is lost, like another loss of a child. And that comes up a lot with like, kind of like the grief of that. And so, yeah, so that might be like 2 triggers, for someone. So, but otherwise it read very straightforward. Like it wasn't flowery. Like I do like beautiful prose. The writing was very good, but it wasn't like, it's not really the prose that interested me. It was more just like, if it was like, the writing was it was a good amount. It kind of reminds me of the writing, like obviously picture kind of Little House on the Prairie, but adult version. So the writing kind of is like very much like the day-to-day life of what goes on between this couple. Is very hard, that the fact that they moved all the way to Alaska, they have no family. And so it's just very interesting. Like, and then it comes when they build this snow child out of snow. It really piqued my interest of finding out, like, what's going to happen with her. You know what I mean? Like, the fairy tale aspect of it was very intriguing to me. And it was very much fairy tale-ish, but very much, like, realistic in a way. And then they do make, like, friends. And then I kind of like seeing those relationships form between the different characters. And yeah, so I really enjoyed the whole thing. Like, it was like, every day I just read a little bit. I don't think it's going to be a book that I would like reread every year, like some, like, you know, like this one, or something like that. It's kind of like a book that I might reread in like maybe like 10 years or maybe never. But it's one of those books that like I'm really glad I read. But yeah, like I think it's really interesting. The cover honestly caught my attention when I saw it at my library. And I was like, the snow child, that seems interesting. And then when I started reading about the fairy tale, which she actually does talk about the whole fairy tale in this book. And I found that very interesting because a lot of retellings, they kind of just do their own thing. And I really like how the author gave the fairy tale, like, the credit. And she really, like, jumped off of that. So yeah, I loved it. I really did. So she is going ahead and she started another Tristan Strong, Keeps Punching. And so I believe this one's 3. Middle grade fiction. Let's see. Yeah, book 3. And I'm probably going to mess up his name too. I don't think I said it other. But I'm really bad pronouncing names. I apologize. But yeah, so she's loving the series. That's what she's reading now. So since I just finished The Snow Child, what I'm currently reading is this nonfiction book called The School of Life, an emotional education. And it's been a slow start for me with this book. I really love The School of Life, and usually their books kind of just like they move pretty quick for me. But this one is a little more dense. And I don't know, like I'm not enjoying it as much as I enjoyed some of their other books. It's just like has chapters. These are the chapters: self, others, relationships, work, and culture. And when I read emotional education, I just thought it'd be interesting. It's like we spent years in school learning facts and figures, but the one thing we were never taught is how to live a fulfilled life. They have another book called What You Didn't Learn in School, I believe is the title. I thought both of those two were very similar, and I ended up picking this one. I wish I would have picked the other one. But yeah, so I'm not saying it's a bad book because I haven't finished it, but it's just like it's not keeping my interest as much as the other ones. But yeah, they do have a lot of cool illustrations. I do, if you like nonfiction, you like philosophy and, books about like emotions and psychology, but yet you want something kind of artsy, I do recommend these books. They have a lot to choose from. So just a lot of different illustrations and stuff. So that's what I'm currently reading. And then now I have a short haul. So I reread The One and Only Ivan, and then I got kind of interested in Catherine Applegate again. So I did buy the Inling. It's like the Inling series. This is Inling the Last, book 1. And this is Willow Dean, yeah. And yeah, so I'm also going to link everything in the description. So this book, I was really thinking my daughter would probably like this one more than me. And I think I might like this one more. This one seems like it's Willow Dean adores creatures of all kinds, but her favorites are the most unlovable beasts in the land, strange beasts known as screechers. The villagers call them pests, even monsters, but Willow Dean believes the animals serve a vital role in the complicated web of nature. Lately, though, nature has seemed very angry indeed. Cursed with fires, mudslides, droughts, and fevers, and the annual migration of hummingbirds, a source of local pride and income, has dwindled. So this one sounds a little bit more, realistic, dealing with like nature, and I like stuff like that. So I think she'll like it too. But so I'm really excited. So actually, I'm probably going to start this one, you guys. So yeah, I'll probably be starting this one very soon. And then this is, this one, it seemed just a little bit more something my daughter would like. It's like, I don't know if it's like Bix, B-Y-X, Bix, was used to be in last. The last in her packs and family, the youngest and the smallest. The last anyone believed would survive in their dangerous kingdom. Bix was not afraid to be the first to die. She did not want to be the last to live. The Inling, now I'm not saying if I'm sure if I'm saying her name right, it's Bix, is the last chance to save her kind and the last hope for every creature in her world. So this one sounded a little bit more adventure, and I do like some adventure, so I'm gonna definitely try both. And then I got this one, Mammoth Science by David Macaulay. So this one's actually DK is a publisher. It's actually a little bit thinner than I thought. I don't know why. When I ordered it online, I just assumed it would be, you know, fatter like the ones he does. Like he has like, I'm gonna show you guys in a second, The Way Things Work and The Way We Work. I'm gonna show you. I have those too from the library. But yeah, so it's actually not as thick as I thought it would be. And what I'm thinking of, the reason why I bought this book, let's see how many pages it has. So with the index, it's like 160 pages. So I got this book because my daughter really likes like the Ice Age, like prehistoric creatures, dinosaurs, things like that. So I thought, this is a table of contents, so I thought it might be a fun way to integrate science for 5th grade, maybe. With the, you know, I like his illustrations. I like the way he explains things for someone like me who's not like science minded. It's kind of fun. And so I'm kind of thinking of using this as our spine for 5th grade. I haven't totally made up my mind yet, but that is why I bought it, because our library didn't have it. And I really wanted to just kind of start checking it out now. And I do think it's a nice book. So yeah, so I did buy that from Amazon, I believe. So now I'll show you guys some stuff from the library. I got some cool finds from the library. So speaking of the same author, I got 3 or 4 books by him. I got The Way Things Work Now, The Way We Work, and I got the Cathedral story of its construction, because my daughter is interested in architecture, and I think he has like several of these in this series. So this is The Way Things Work. It has a lot of pages. Let's see how many pages. Over 370 pages. This is a very popular book that's been around for a while, so a lot of people are probably familiar with it, but I'm going to show you guys anyway in case someone isn't or has not seen a flip through of it. This is a table of contents. So if my daughter continues to be interested in architecture and or engineering, I think this would be a book I would buy. But right now, I just wanted to check it out from the library. I think if your child's interested in engineering, this would be a really good book to have. And he has the mammoth in a lot of the pages, explaining in the illustrations, kind of showing how things work. His rotary pump, toilet tank, how a toilet works, fire extinguisher. So yeah, it's really cool. So that's The Way Things Work Now. And then The Way We Work. So honestly, I was thinking about buying The Way We Work also for 5th grade. I decided not to. I don't know. I'm going to talk about that in my 5th grade planning video. But this is The Way We Work, getting to know the amazing human body. And I will say that with the human body, I do think, I'm sorry, I'm like all over the place. This is a table of contents. So I will say that some of these illustrations, I think, do a very good job at explaining the way things are in the human body. But some of them I found, I don't know, maybe just a little bit more abstract than I wanted or something. But I still think this would be a good companion book for learning about the human body. I don't know if I'd use it as a spine, but I think I could see how someone would want to or could use that as a spine. But yeah. This is... But yeah, I do really like his work. It's really interesting, his illustrations. So that is the way we work. And then this is the Cathedral one. Shows the layout, and then so yeah, I just got this for her to kind of just flip through for fun from the library. And then speaking of architecture again, because she's very much interested in architecture and she wants to be an architect as of now. I'm sure she'll change her mind, but this is DK Superstructures, Inside the World's Most Spectacular Buildings. So I really like this book. It has like the table of contents with all of the buildings it has. And then it starts like with ancient wonders. So I do like how it has like, it's based on, you know, oldest to newest. And then I think it has like some flip out pages that are kind of really well worn from the library. It's like, yeah, it has like some vertical pages. This one's like really bad folded. So yeah, so like this was just another one I thought she could kind of flip through. I don't know if I'd buy it. I mean, I might, like, but if she really wanted it, but yeah. And another one, because I've been looking for like science books for 5th grade. This was another one. I don't think I'd buy it. It's a very great book, but it's Smithsonian Super Science Encyclopedia. It's not what I was looking for our spine, but it's still a very nice book. Table of contents. All the different areas of science. I like this. And then it gets into just random things, like random subjects, and it's like very nice photos. But the way it's structured, I almost feel like it's kind of structured as more of kind of just a look-through book. I don't think it's really structured that I feel like I would be able to use it as the main book, but that's why I checked it out. But I still think it's just, and it's probably, I mean, obviously it's not meant to be that, but that's what I'm looking for, you know, as a potential candidate. But yeah, but it's still a very awesome book. It's just like, I think it's like a cool book for a kid who really just likes science and wants to just like flip through it. And then on the same topic, this is a complete middle school study guide, everything you need to ace science in one big fat notebook. So I bought the American history version of this one, and I wanted to check out the science one. Now, I don't think I'm going to use this as our science spine for 5th grade. I did consider it though. It has questions at the end of each chapter. It's like check your knowledge. I like that. But I do like these books. I might use it for like another grade, but I wanted to check it out from the library to kind of just get a better view of it. I do like how the chapters are pretty short. Like this is chapter 19, the sun, earth, moon system. So it's like you could get through this in like one day or maybe 2 days, 1 to 2 days, depending. Yeah, so I really do like these books. They're very popular. I just really never thought of using them. I don't know why. And now that I'm using the American history one, yeah, I wanted to check out all of them. So that's that one. And then another book that she started to read from the library was Stuart Gibbs' Bare Bottom. He's the author. This is the Fun Jungle series. So she started to read it, but she said it was a little bit slower than the other ones in the animal series. And she wants to recheck it out because someone reserved it. So we actually have to bring it back to the library because we were out of town. So she won't be finishing it, but she really does love Stuart Gibbs. So yeah, this is a middle grade fiction. And she didn't get to finish it, but I'm going to recheck it out. And then this is Wallflowers. I showed this on my Instagram. It's just a really nice picture book by Mackenzie Joy. Celebrating introverts or shyness or kids that can or will be referred to as a wallflower, or people might call you a wallflower. And it's kind of embracing. It's about embracing the fact that you're not like an extrovert, or you don't have to have, you can just be you. And so, yeah, it's just very simple illustrations, and I really like the message. You just don't want to be center stage, but there's nothing wrong. And I'm a wallflower. I think I wrote on my Instagram, it reminds me of that movie, of course, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, because he kind of feels that way, and I kind of feel that way too, but yet you can still do a lot of things. You don't have to be, like the life of the party or whatever. So I really love the message. So just a short, sweet picture book. This is definitely a book I would have bought. See, my daughter is not introverted. She's extroverted. But this would be, if I had like a child that was shy, I would 100% buy this book. Or won't buy it, but I would consider it. I think it's a really good book. And this is, I've showed these before. This is a Brownstone Mythical Collection by Todd Stanton. This is Leo and the Gorgon's Curse. These, I mentioned that in one of my other library hauls, that I think this is a very good option if you're looking for a picture book for an older child. It's picture book style, but it's like ancient Greece, and they're all based on like different mythologies. So it's long enough, it's short enough if you have a child who might not be interested or quite ready to do like chapter books or middle grade, but yet like a book like this would have too few words, because this is meant for a younger audience. But yeah, so I really love these. My daughter loves them too, and she's read, I think this is the last one that she has to read. So yeah, it's like a picture book based on, and so every one in the series has like a different characters, and usually like different mythology that's based on. This is the whole collection. So yeah, I read them too, and they were good. So then this is a book I checked out for myself, If We Were Villains. I think it's M.L. Rio. What is that? Yeah, M.L. Rio. So I haven't started it yet because I haven't had time, but I will pick it up. I'm not sure. I told y'all guys this before. If you follow my videos, like I'm very picky, and I'm not scared to like read one page, read a paragraph, read a chapter, a few chapters. If a book doesn't keep my attention from the beginning, I just move on. So I haven't even like opened the page yet, but a lot of people love this book, and I love Donna Tartt, A Secret History, or The Secret History. So a lot of people, if you search for like similar books, this book comes up a lot. So I'm really interested to see. Sorry, let me quit rambling. On the day Oliver Marks is released from jail, the man who put him there is waiting at the door. Detective Colburn wants to know the truth, and after 10 years, Oliver is ready to tell it. 10 years ago, Oliver is one of 7 young Shakespearean actors, a place of keen ambition and fierce competition. So I'm interested to check it out, and I haven't yet. I definitely will update you guys if I finish it. But yeah, so I think that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, liking. If you're not subscribed, I really appreciate it if you would. I make a lot of videos similar to this, book and homeschool content and holiday videos. Thanks so much. Have a good day or night. Bye.